Hey everyone, welcome to Hammerhead Hobbies. In this episode, I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing this MIL Mi24 Gunship by Airfix. Alright, let's get started on this MIL Mi24 Gunship by Airfix. This is in 1:72 scale, and it's model number 05017. Now this model was made in 1987. Starting off with the instructions here, it's a huge piece of paper, and looking over here, it's got very detailed instructions with lots of steps. It's nice to see. Yeah, very detailed, like I said, the numbers everywhere. And on the back here, you have your paint scheme and decal guide. Moving over to the decals. And as you can see, these decals have yellowed quite a bit. Okay, so these can be fixed sometimes if you put them out in direct sunlight for a few days. They whiten right up or clear right up. This one is very heavily done, and there's not a lot of decals as you can see here. They're very basic decals. So you got your two Czechoslovakian and Russian version. These go on the rear props, so there's not a lot of decals at all. So not very good decals, and I don't know if those are going to disintegrate once they're getting placed in water. Starting off with a sprue over here. It's got the rotor on this one, rotor blades. They got some good decal. I don't know if you can see that. They got some lines in them. A little bit of decal here. Over here is the rotor head. It doesn't look very detailed at all. So that's not detailed. And just going through this over here, we'll flip it over, and this is part of the structure of the helicopter. It's got some panel lines and rivets over here. These are all raised. This is the rear portion also. These are all raised rivets and panel lines here. Okay, so that's that sprue. Moving on to the one part of the body here, and if you can see here, there's lots of rivets over here, some nice panel lines throughout the whole fuselage area, but again, they're all raised, which sometimes it makes it more difficult to weather or to accentuate the panel lines, but there's ways around it. I've done a Sikorsky Sea King helicopter, and it turned out really well, even with the raised panel lines and rivets. Alright, going over to this one here. Now this one has the armament, so you can see here there's the rocket launchers. They do have some detail in them. They're not very crisp though. Over here there's some rockets. Okay, these are typical Russian rockets. Now, there's no detail on them, and the fins are very, very thick, so it doesn't make it realistic looking over there. Okay. And again, this is the other part of the fuselage. If I look at the interior of this, there is no detail in it whatsoever. Even though it has windows, you're not going to see much of it. I didn't notice any detail in the interior, and even some of the parts have fallen off the sprue already because it's an older model. This is one of the bench seats that fits in the back. There's no detail on them, and this is one of the pilot seats, and again, it's just a bent piece of plastic. No detail on those either. Moving over to the canopy here. So these are the side windows. Again, they're very thick, very wavy. You won't be able to see anything through those. Even in the canopy here, they are very, very thick, very wavy. And I'm not sure if you can see that. If I hold this up to the thing there, you can see how it distorts the image below it. Even the pane lines in there, they're thick and not very nice. So all in all, this is the Airfix MIL Mi24 Gunship in 1:72 scale. Now you can see the sprues, nothing fits in there nicely. It's not a very nice kit. It's an older kit, but if you can pick this up for a good price, it's not a bad deal. The only reason I wouldn't buy this model, and I'm not sure if you can see this, is the front cover. It looks like it's been done by, it looks like it's been done by somebody that does models, but it's very basic. There's no shading. There's no excitement in it to say, hey, I like this airplane. Like other models have a painting on the front. This one just has somebody assembled the model, and it's not even that great. So, if I saw this on the shelf at the hobby store, I'd probably pass right by it, not even giving it a second chance. So stick around for the pros and cons and my summary. All right, now for the pros and cons. Pros. It has good detailed instructions that are easy to follow. It has good exterior detail that includes rivets. It's got nice rotor blades, nice and thin. Now for the cons. Decals are very basic and heavily yellowed. There's virtually no interior detail. A lot of the pieces on the sprues are bulky. It's got a thick canopy that's very wavy. And the box is not very appealing for buyers. Overall, this kit would take effort to make it look half decent, even by an experienced modeler. You would have to definitely buy new decals, but I probably wouldn't buy this model anyway just because of the box design. I hope you enjoyed the review, and I hope you enjoyed the build.